What's up YouTube, Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel we talk about the markets and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video I want to go over the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100 and the Russell 2000 because last Friday we had a very interesting day from a technical standpoint, and at the end of the video I will also break down from a technical standpoint as well, obviously, 4 stocks that are going to be on the very top of my personal watch list in tomorrow's trading session. So without further ado, let's get started. And before going over the indices, I wanted to show you some of the trades that I closed in a successful way throughout this week, because every single one of these trades were called out here on the channel. So let's go ahead and start with Alibaba. So on July 8th, I purchased 30 shares of BABA at $202, paying $6,064, and I ended up selling out of those shares on July 13th when BABA hit $211 and I was paid $6,349, making over here a profit of $286. And now let me pull up here Dr. Horton, or DR Horton, which was another stock with which I took a successful trade this week. So let me pull up here the history of Dr. Horton, or DR Horton. So on July 15th, I purchased 100 shares and I broke down the H. Horton, guys, in the video that we posted on Thursday, I think. So on July 15th, I purchased 100 shares at $85.97, paying $8,596, and I ended up closing this trade yesterday in yesterday's trading session when the HI hit $88.09. So I was paid $8,809 for those 100 shares. I ended up closing this trade with a $200 profit, and I was forgetting about another trade that I closed this week, guys, on BABA, because I closed 2 positions on BABA throughout this week. So let me pull up here once again. Okay, here you go. So on July 7th, I purchased 50 shares of BABA at $209.54, paying $10,477. This is my second trading and investment portfolio, by the way. And on July 15th, I think that this was the very same day that I closed the other position that I just showed you on BABA. I sold out of those 50 shares at $215.73, and I was paid $10,786, so I ended up making $310 over here as well in the case of BABA. So I am showing you guys these trades because for the most part these trades were called out here on the channel in the videos that we post Mondays through Thursdays. So watch out for our videos, guys, for our stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500. So this index, guys, went down on Friday 0.75%, and it closed last Friday's trading session at 4327, 4,327 points. And take a look at this detail, guys. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4 hour and take a look at the spot in which the bulls found support in yesterday's trading session, right at the 50 SMA on the 4 hour chart at 4327. By the way, in the video that we posted on Thursday, I said, guys, and remember my words, I told you, if the S&P 500 happens to have another red day, or happens to have rather a red day on Friday, yesterday, watch out for the bulls finding support at 4330. And I said 4330 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for the S&P 500 back on July 9th, and it also did it back on July 7th. So I happened to be right about this area of support. But take a look at this, guys, okay? 50 SMA on the 4 hour chart. So now let me pull up here the Nasdaq 100. So the Nasdaq 100 went down yesterday 0.72% and it closed at 14,681 points. Exactly the level of support that I called out in the video that we posted on Thursday. Okay, but let me zoom in here. Where did the Nasdaq 100 find support in yesterday's trading session, guys? Yes, right at the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, just like the S&P 500 did. Is this a coincidence? No, it isn't. So let's go back to the S&P 500. And guys, if in tomorrow's trading session we happen to have another red day, mark my words, the next important area of lower support is going to be at 4,300. 4,300 should act like some sort of psychological support for the bulls in the S&P 500 because first of all, we are talking about a fat number, and 4,300 is also a previous area of lower support for the bulls of the S&P that acted as such back on July 8th, and it also did it as a resistance back on June 29th, and it also did it back on June 30th. And we are talking as well about a former all-time high for this index. And mind you guys, if this area of lower support happens to be broken to the downside, we could see the S&P paying a visit to 4270. 4270 is a former area of lower support that already acted as such for this index back on June 28th, and it also did it as a resistance back on June 24, and it is also a former all-time high for the S&P. And what about the S&P paying a visit to 4255, guys? 4255 is a previous area of resistance in which the bulls of this index failed on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 occasions before, and obviously we are also talking about a former all-time high. If we were to see a drop of the S&P down to 4255, we are talking about a 3% drop or a 3% correction. I mean, we cannot say a correction, guys. A correction happens whenever an index or a stock happens to drop more than 10%, but this would be some sort of tiny healthy correction for the S&P 500. And take a look at the RSI, guys. It is at 39 points, very but very healthy from a technical standpoint. So I do like what I am seeing in the case of the S&P 500. And mind you guys, and circling back to these levels of support, I think, in my opinion, and since this huge rally that we have seen in the S&P 500 and also the Nasdaq 100, has been carried out by basically a handful of stocks, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and Google. If we happen to see a drop down to 42.55, as I just said, that is going to be, in my humble opinion, a viable pullback. Because right now, and even though this index is trading, we can say near all-time high, we have a bunch of sectors that trade inside the S&P 500 that are way off its highs. So I think that this pullback is going to be bucked, no doubt about it, in my humble opinion. This would be a healthy pullback, and on top of that, this is going to be a viable pullback, and we are going to find very but very attractive prices, in regard to a lot of stocks that trade inside the S&P 500, in regard to a lot of very good stocks that trade inside this index, showing very but very attractive discounts. And in the case of the Nasdaq 100, so as I think that I said before, this index went down 0.77% on last Friday, and it closed last Friday's trading session at 14,681 points. So if the Nasdaq 100 happens to keep on dropping, which would be healthy in my opinion, I think that the next important area of lower support is going to be at 14,570 points, which is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for the Nasdaq 100 back on July 8th, and it also did it as a resistance on 1, 2, and 3 occasions before, and we are also talking about a former all-time high. If that area of support happens to be broken to the downside, then the next important area of support that I am going to be looking at is going to be 14,400 points. 14,400 points is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for the Nasdaq 100 back on June 28th, and it also did it as a resistance back on June 24th and also back on June 25th, and we are all obviously also talking about a former all-time high. So if we happen to see such a drop in the Nasdaq 100 down to 14,400 points, we are looking at a 4.27% correction, a tiny correction, all right, that would be extremely healthy for this index. And take a look at the RSI on the 4-hour, guys. It is at 40 points. Very, but very healthy. It has dropped a lot. And take into account, guys, that we saw the relative strength index of the Nasdaq 100 at 70 points or above 70 points for weeks. I mean, unbelievable. So we are seeing a very, but very healthy price action in both the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500. And when it comes to the Russell 2000, let's go over this index. And guys, we are at an extremely critical spot over here in the case of the Russell 2000. I have already told you several times here on the channel that 2,160 points is a critical area of lower support for the Russell 2000 because, first of all, guys, we are talking about the lower line of this horizontal channel in which the Russell has been trading since early February. And on top of that, 2,160 points is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for the Russell 2000 on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions before, and it also acted as a resistance back in January. And let me pull up here, guys, and talking about interesting stuff from a technical standpoint. Take a look at this, guys. This is a double bottom formation. I mean, you know, fingers crossed, guys. If this double bottom formation happens to unfold on Monday, we could see a nice relief rally in the case of the Russell 2000. And remember, guys, that a double bottom formation is a bullish pattern that suggests that a downtrend is about to be reversed. So watch out, guys, for the Russell tomorrow at 2,160 points. And mind you, guys, if that area of lower support happens to be broken to the downside, then the next foreseeable area of lower support for the Russell is going to be at 2,100 points. If that were to happen, most of the meme stocks out there are going to be absolutely decimated. All right, and talking about meme stocks, let's go ahead and take a look at AMC Entertainment. And in the case of AMC, guys, this stock went down on Friday 2.89%. Sorry, guys. And it closed last Friday's trading session at $34.96. So what's the next task? What is the next important homework for the bulls of AMC, guys? So the most important task that the bulls of AMC have in front of themselves would be taking on $45 or $46, guys. That is going to be the next important area of resistance for AMC Entertainment. Let's not forget that $26-ish is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for the stock of this company on 1, 2, and 3 occasions before. And mind you, guys, we can make the case that here on the 4-hour, we are seeing a death cross. We have the 50 SMA crossing below. I mean, it already crossed below the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So if this death cross ends up affecting in a negative way AMC Entertainment, what would be the next important area of lower support for AMC, guys? If so, I am going to be looking at $25. This would be very but very negative, and I think that we are going to see a lot of paper hands freaking out if AMC happens to break $31 to the downside, okay, which is a previous area of lower support, or is an area that acted as a lower support for AMC on last Thursday's trading session. So $25, guys, is a previous area of lower support in which the bulls of AMC found support back on May 28th. So watch out for AMC, guys. I am still holding my shares. You guys know that I have 100 shares and I am not selling out of those shares. And the next important the next important task for the bulls of this stock is going to be taking on $45 and maybe, okay, and I hope so, filling the gap up to the other important area of resistance, which is going to be $52, which is a previous area of lower support. So in the case of $46 and $52, we are going to have previous areas of support that now are going to act as new resistances since they were broken to the downside. And now let's go ahead and take a look at another stock, guys, that you tell me to go over a lot. Nndm. And in the case of an Nndm, this stock went up on Friday 2.31% and it closed last Friday's trading session at $6.63. So we are at a very tricky spot over here, guys. $6.60 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for an Nndm on 1, 2, and 3 and 4 occasions before. So since we closed last Friday's trading session slightly above $6.60, now the question is, can the bulls gather momentum in order to make a push higher and maybe pay a visit to the next important area of resistance for an Nndm at around $9.43? $9.43 is a previous area of resistance in which the bulls of an Nndm failed on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions before, and we are also talking about a previous area of support that already acted as such for an Nndm back on February 26th, and it also did it back on January 15th. So if an Nndm could make this move, this push to the upside, we are talking about, guys, a 30% profit. So I am going to keep a close watch on Nndm on Monday, because if the stock of this company, guys, can close hourly slightly above $6.60, that might be a sign that the bulls are gathering strength in order to make a push higher. And mind you, guys, we are seeing over here another death cross. So I am spotting these guys left and right, but this is a death cross. So over here, we had the 50 SMA crossing below the 180 SMA on the 4 hours. So if this death cross happens to affect an Nndm in a negative way, then the next foreseeable area of lower support for the stock of this company, guys, is going to be at $5.50. $5.50 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such in early May. So watch out for an Nndm tomorrow, guys, either consolidating slightly above $6.60 and gathering strength in order to make a push higher, or maybe paying a visit to $5.50, which in my opinion is a great price to pick up shares of Nndm. And now let's go ahead and take a look at another stock that you guys tell me all of the time to go over, Bngo. Bngo went down on Friday 1.20% and it closed last Friday's trading session at $5.77. And guys, what are we seeing over here on the 4 hour? A good old death cross. We have the 50 SMA crossing below the 180 SMA. So I'm thinking, guys, that if this death cross happens to keep on affecting in a negative way the stock of this company, we might see the $5.05. And let me zoom out here. So $5.05 is a previous area. I gotta zoom out a bit more. There you go. Okay, $5.05 is a previous area of lower support in which the bulls of this stock found support on 1, 2, and 3 occasions before. So I'm thinking, guys, that if Bngo happens to pay a visit to $5, that is a very but very attractive spot in order to pick up some shares of the stock of this company. And take a look at the RSI, guys. It is at 35 points, so the RSI, the relative strength index of the stock of this company, is already very but very low. So I'm thinking, guys, that if this stock happens to pay a visit to $5.05, the RSI is going to be even lower, and that is going to increase the likelihood for the bulls of this stock to find support at a previous area of support and then bounce back up. So if I happen to pick up some shares at $5.05, then my price target is going to be at around $9.70 ish. $9.70 is a previous area of resistance in which the bulls of Bngo failed on March 15th, and they also failed on January 15th. So if I could be able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, this would be obviously, guys, a swing trade. This trade would take at least a few weeks. I could be potentially locking in a profit of $47. So watch out for Bngo Genomics paying a visit to $5.05, finding a good support over there and then bouncing back up. And the last stock of this video is going to be Context Logic, Wish, ticker symbol WISH. And in the case of the stock of this Chinese company, guys, it got absolutely killed in yesterday's trading session, going down 8.13% and closing yesterday's trading session at $9.27. And yes, guys, take a look. We are about to see another good old death cross unfolding on the 4-hour chart, probably tomorrow. We can make the case that the 50 SMA is about to cross below the 180 SMA on this chart. So I'm thinking, guys, that obviously this is going to be very, but very negative for the stock of this Chinese company. And the next important area of support for Wish is going to be at around $7.80. $7.80 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 occasions before between May and June of this year. So that is a trade that I don't want to be involved with. So I need to see Wish, guys, bursting above $11. If the stock of this company can reverse this horrible downtrend that we are seeing here on the 4-hour, and the bulls of Wish can take on $11, that is going to be an interesting spot in order to take a trade, to start a trade with Wish. So let's say that I purchase shares of Wish at $11.40, all right, after the stock of this company burst above $11. In that case, my price target is going to be $15.40, which is going to be the next important area of resistance for Wish. If I could take this trade the way that I am describing it, I could be potentially locking in a profit of 25%. $15.40 or $15 is a previous area of resistance in which the bulls of Wish failed back on June 28th, and they also failed at that spot back on April 29th, and we are also talking about a former area of support that acted on a lot of occasions as such back in March. So watch out for Wish, guys. I know that many of you guys are back holding Wish, so you have to be patient. And I don't know, maybe you guys can, average down your current positions at $7.50. I think that $7.50 should be, from a technical standpoint, worst case scenario for Wish. And take a look at the RSI, guys. It is at 30 points, so the stock of this company is about to enter into oversold territory, and that is going to increase the likelihood for the bulls of Wish to find support at a previous area of lower support at $7.50. And in my case, I am going to be patient, and if I happen to see a breakout from $11, I might take a trade in the case of Wish Context Logic. And with Wish, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So in those videos, I break down from a technical standpoint the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, and here here and there the Russell 2000 as well. And I also obviously go over the stocks that are going to be on the top of my personal watch list in the next trading session. So go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet, and remember to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. On our Instagram account, we are posting news and information on a daily basis, and here and there, when the volatility of the market lets me do it, I am making call outs about the stocks that I am about to purchase throughout the trading session. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel, in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.